Hey everybody, it's the end of August, and I am here with my wrap-up thing. It's going to be books that I read, books that I did not finish, books that I'm currently reading, and books that I might want to read. So we got a little bit of everything in this video. Hope you guys enjoy. Let Me Spoiled by David Levithon. This was a reread for me, and I listened to it on audiobook. Uh, and it was amazing on audiobook. It's such a great book on audiobook because there's a lot of music incorporated into the story, and I got to hear some of the music, which was really nice, and it was just a very pleasant experience, and I really liked reliving this book again because it's a book from my high school years that I really enjoyed. So that was great. Next was Between Mom and Joe by Julianne Peters. This is a book about a guy named, I think his name was Nick, and his parents, who are lesbians, are going through a divorce. It was a very good book, but I struggled with parts of it. It's already a difficult topic dealing with divorce, but then also just like these parents were just so not handling the situation as best as they possibly could for the kid. And even when they make the decision that they think will benefit the kid the most, I think that there were other options that they just didn't consider because of the way that they felt about each other, and that's problematic. But I really still like the story. Julianne Peters is a fantastic writer. Poem by Shakespeare called Venus and Adonis. I also read the Ovid Metamorphosis part that correlates to this poem. It's interesting reading. I really like reading this old Shakespeare parts and the Metamorphosis parts. Metamorphosis is really hard to read. Metamorphosis is so hard to get through, and so that was rough. But like, it's also something I like to read the Metamorphosis piece if I'm going to read something that Shakespeare based off of it. And this is a really interesting piece because you get to see a Greek or slash Roman goddess doing something that she shouldn't be doing, probably. Like, usually it's the males in the stories who are effing everything up, but I forgot that the goddess did as well at times. And so, yeah, this is one of those stories. And also, where the person doesn't listen to what the goddess says, and you should just always listen to the gods and goddesses in Greek mythology. So, there's that. I really like it. I'm glad my mom recommended it to me. I see why she thought I would like it. The Spinner, the Shepherd, and the Leading Man by Chris Whipper. This is a story about a guy named Fraser who has been in love with his roommate, Dom, for like the longest time ever, and he's finally gonna work up the courage to like kiss him and then show him that they mean something to each other. But then Dom meets this guy named Pete, and they start having feelings for each other. And Fraser, even though he hurts him, wants to push the two of them together because he cares about Dom that much. And the story's all set in the world of kind of theater, which I always want to read books for this set around the theater, but I never liked the main characters. I really couldn't stand Fraser for the most part of this book. But I really did like once the relationship started developing, because this is a book with a polyamorous relationship where Pete, Dom, and Fraser get together. And it was beautifully done. It was really, really well done, and I really like that. But Fraser as a character was so frustrating. I kind of wish this book was set from Pete or Dom's perspective because I would have liked it so much better. But still really enjoyed it once it got past the fact that Fraser was he liked to put these kind of stereotypical opinions on everything. Like, this must be this way because I see it this way. And I hate characters like that. And I keep reading characters like that are gay and set in a theater world. And I want to read a good theater setting book with gay characters soon because I haven't yet. So if anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. Next was a book on blues poems, and this book was kind of a reread for me. It's from a writing class that I had back in university, and I didn't read all of that book then. I read the entire book, the entire set of poems this time around, and really enjoyed it. Whenever there's a collection, there's going to be hit or miss poems. Surprisingly, I didn't like as many of the Langston Hughes ones because I hadn't actually read a lot of Langston Hughes, and I'm like, he's good. But like Big Mama Thornton, Gwendolyn Brooks. There was a bilingual poem in this book that I really enjoyed. There was just a lot that I enjoyed a lot more than that, and I was surprised by that because, yeah, I hadn't read a lot of blues poem before this, and I really enjoyed it. So definitely a poem book that I'd recommend to you. Next is Raven Boys by Maggie Spivak. This has been on my to-read list for a very long time, and because I didn't think I was going to like it, and I liked it. I didn't like it a lot, but I did like it. I rated it around 3.5. And my problem with it was that I didn't like the main characters that much. Blue and Gansey were just not my favorite, but I really, really love the side characters. I love Noah. I love Adam. I love Ronan. The twist really shocked me. Like, I was really surprised, and I was like, I had to think about it because I was like, wow, how did I not see this coming? Because I was thinking it would be something else, and I really like that. And also like that one of the characters is queer in this series, and that the next book is from the perspective of a different character. Like the main character of the next book in the series is Ronan. And so I'm like, I'm probably going to read the next book in the series, even though I didn't love this, because it's a different main character, and I really like that character so far. Next, I listened to The School for Good and Evil, an audiobook from Overdrive, and I liked the story. There's some things I didn't like about the story. The character of Theodore was really annoying. He is very much, I'm a prince and I have to protect the princess mindset, and just like, no, you're in the way, go away. And he frustrated me so much throughout this book. But I think the story has one of my favorite villains that I've read this month, and probably one of my favorite villains that I've read ever. Agatha and Sophie are just fantastic characters, to be honest. They're just really good characters. But some people have said that Agatha kind of downgrades in the second book, and that would annoy me. And I don't know if I'm going to continue the series right now, but I probably will try to. I have it on hold at Overdrive, so we'll see if I read it in the next month or so. But I did enjoy it. I think I ranked it like 3 or 4 stars. I don't remember. I'll put it here. Like it was close though. It was really close. Either way, it was close. So the next 2 are my 2 favorites from the entire month. The Young Elites by Marie Lu. This is my first time reading a Marie Lu book, and people have been like, Chris, what's taking you so long to read Marie Lu? And I'm like, I don't know, I just haven't got around to it yet. But this was an Overdrive, so I picked it up, and I absolutely loved this book. Like, Adelina, I can't say her last name. Adelina is such a good main character. Like, holy crap. And Marie Lu does things in her books that I like admire so much. Like this, her entire writing style and her willingness to just kind of go against the norm on things and break away from cliches makes me really, really happy. Adeline is a very dark main character for a protagonist, and I really, really loved it. I'm probably going to do a full review of it at some point soon. Like, I wanted to do it, and I just haven't got around to it yet, but I definitely will. It's just a great story. Last, but certainly not least, is Eve the Awakening by Jenna Morrissey. This is a story about a girl named Evelyn Kingston, who is a chimera, but not chimeras of mythology. She is a more advanced human. It's set in 2088. It's a new adult sci-fi. Evelyn is trying to go to school and blend in, but that lasts for like 4 chapters before she realizes it's really going to be hard for her to blend in, essentially. And she has to fight against some aliens who are coming in to try to kill her and her friends, you know, just to survive. It's a really, really solid book. I love the writing style. I like it felt kind of episodic. Like, it felt like this, I was reading a television show, kind of, sort of, in a way. Like, I felt like each little part was like an episode of a really good show. And I have a more full review up there if you guys want to check it out. I put a link up here, and I'll also put a link to my video review down in the description box below. I absolutely love this story. It was 5 stars. There were some things I didn't like about it, which I mentioned up there, but it still ended up being a 5-star story for me. Also, there is a gay character in it named Percy, and he is kind of one of the main characters of the story. He comes in about 30% through, and he is funny. He's also a badass, and he's also a really good friend. And those are like the 3 qualities I would like probably point out about his character. Like, he's fantastic. Really, really great character that I loved a lot. So I'm really excited for the next book in the series to come out whenever it does come out. I know she's working on it right now, and I love this book. I should not have started a new series like this, because now I'm going to be waiting each time, but I really love the book. It was fantastic. Books I did not finish. First one was Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List, and I didn't finish this during the book tubeathon. I switched this book out with the Blues Poem book because it was really, really way too angsty and annoying for me. Not gonna do it. Winger by Andrew Smith. It's a book, I know a lot of people love this book. Some people hate this book. I kind of hated this book. Ryan Dean was not a protagonist that I could get behind. It was just not working, and I couldn't find myself attached to any of the side characters. I started to hate all of them by the point that I quit around like 45-50% of the book. And then I kind of skimmed for like another 20-30%, and I just didn't get better. I didn't see it getting better. Like, getting to that 40% point was really hard for me. Like, I wanted to quit after chapter 11. So, wasn't that great for me. Two Boys Kissing by Dale Levitan. This is a book that I'm probably going to pick up again. I'm just really not in the mood for right now. It's kind of like I had also picked it up on audiobook from Overdrive, and then I just returned it because I think I might want to read this in a physical copy more so. Like I did, it's like I like the concept of it, but reading that and listening to that as an audiobook is not gonna work for me. Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I actually really like the story for the first, I don't know, three parts of it on audiobook. I really like the accents on audiobook. It's really well. It's a great audiobook. But I'm got to the point where I just wasn't in the mood for it anymore, and so I'm gonna put this one down and try to pick this one up later, like I'm gonna do with Two Boys Kissing the Leviathan. So I don't know when I'm gonna pick this book up again, but I'm definitely gonna pick it up again. Books that I'm maybe gonna read. That's what my TBR normally is. But first one is a book that I've already started, and that's Mysterious Ken. This book is a reread kind of for me. I watched the movie and I read the book sort of about a few years ago, but this is my first time really extensively going into reading the book. This book is about a really tough topic. It's about statutory rape and abuse and all these other issues. And reading it in the book form, it's so different than watching the movie because you get to go into so much detail into the lives of these two main characters, of Brian and Neil. And yeah, this is an intense book. Let's just say it like that. It's been intense, but I'm definitely gonna try to finish this one in the next couple of days, few days. We'll see what happens. I've been trying to finish Western Kid for so long that I just dropped out of the mood for mystery, but I'm totally in the mood for mystery right now. I just haven't finished it. But like I'm about 45% into it now. Like I picked it back up again, and it's like going pretty fast. I think I might actually finish this book tonight. So that's gonna be good. And if Western Kid is a gay steampunk romance story, and I'll talk about it on the channel once I'm done with it because I've never read a steampunk story before, and I do enjoy it so far. But this is The God Box by Alex Sanchez, and this is a book about sexuality and religion. It's about a Christian boy who starts to question his sexuality, and then meets another person who is also gay and Christian, and starts to kind of rethink the way he's been taught things, essentially. And yeah, I'm excited to read this. I'm probably going to read this on one of the weekends that I'm going to be staying with my boyfriend. I usually take this when I travel there and travel back, like a book with me to read, and so I'm excited to read this month for sure. Speaking of my boyfriend, the last book is not really a book that I've chosen yet. I wanted to see if you guys would help me out with that. I feel bad when people give me books and I don't read them, and I haven't read most of the books that my boyfriend gave me. So I decided to just pull 3 out of the box. I know nothing about them, and I wanted to see if you guys would help me figure out what to read. I'm gonna read the Goodreads summaries and then try to summarize what they're about to you. This is a book about a boy who does something really bad, and then he gets banished to the Alaskan wilderness, where he gets attacked by a bear. And then it's about his attempts to survive while also repenting on his crimes, I guess. Perhaps. Yeah. This is a story about a dog who is very, very smart and very philosophical, whose owner was a race car driver. And he is reflecting on his life with his owner the day before he dies. The Art of Racing in the Rain. This is a story about a boy from Spain who is going to Egypt to search for a treasure in the pyramids, and he meets a lot of interesting people along the way, including an alchemist and a gypsy woman. And I guess he learns stuff about himself on this journey to look for this treasure. Yeah. So yeah, tell me which one of these 3 do you guys think I should try to read this month in the comments below. Whatever one gets voted for the most is the one that I am going to attempt to read. Alright, that's it for this video. You should tell me what your favorite book that you read in August was, and I will see you next time.